Santello, and Bel Air Elope. It's very interesting tonight that there are no comments to this from this council, yet I think we spent a half hour on the proliferation of bamboo, but not the proliferation of signs. I mean, this is a great issue, so I tend to talk a lot, so I wrote the comments down so I could be fairly brief. But as chair of the zoning hearing board, and on behalf of the members of the board, some of who sit here tonight, others would like to be here, but cannot for others' vacation or traveling reasons, we respectfully request that Borough Council support the zoning board's decision to deny the Playhouse's request for the north-facing sign. There is no doubt to us on the zoning hearing board, as to everyone else in town, that the Playhouse is an important and vital anchor in the town, and we are all committed to its success. Over the past several years, the Playhouse properties have been granted numerous variances. As a matter of fact, they've been granted other signage variances. And they've also received a special overlay district. And all of this was to aid them in their vision to assure their continued success. When we denied the variance for the north-facing sign, I know that some of you may think that this is a non-issue, but it's extremely important to the zoning hearing board, as well as it is to the community in terms of adherence to our zoning ordinances. The sign in question, and I want to clear this up because everyone says, oh, that sign's been there forever. The sign in question was put up approximately 2 years ago by the Playhouse without securing any appropriate permits or variances. When asked about it, they cited confusion. As stated in the Pennsylvania Section 910.2 of the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code related to zoning hearing board functions, it states, the board shall hear requests for variances where it is alleged that the provisions of the zoning ordinance inflict unnecessary hardship upon the applicant. We believe that it's important to note that even without this sign, the Playhouse property exceeds all the zoning ordinance signage requirements. It's well over its allotted signage. Some of it is there because of prior non-conformities, but again, it is so far exceeds any signage that anyone else would have in town without the sign. I think it's also important to note that even without the sign, and exceeding this, they couldn't provide a hardship for this sign. During the hearing, they had no hardship. That is an important fact. You get a variance when you can demonstrate a hardship. They acknowledge, we acknowledge, there is no hardship. As stated in the Pennsylvania Code, and this is I'll state it, where full compliance with the strict letter of the ordinance works on hardship on the owners, the board may grant a variance, which is a toleration of a slight violation of the ordinance. And this is a continuation of the quote from the ordinance of the law. The owners, however, may not create their own hardship by willfully violating the law. The zoning hearing board is a quasi-judicial board appointed by this council. As a board, similar to you, we take our responsibilities very seriously. The ordinances are meant to protect our community from overdevelopment, reckless development, and it's to maintain the fabric of our community. Similar to this council, we are entrusted to make very difficult decisions. I have proudly served on the board for over 10 years. During that time, neither I or any other sitting zoning member has ever made a public comment. We prefer to stay out of the press. That's not our job. Our job is to go to a hearing, hear it fairly, objectively, and make a decision. We've even stayed out of the press when we've been unfairly and publicly vilified. Tonight is an exception. We are compelled to speak. This is not a minor issue. This is a property that not only far exceeds the amount of signage permitted in this ordinance, it added an additional sign, a large sign, without permits or variances. If we allow this property owner to continue to violate ordinances, why should other businesses along the river not follow suit? If council thinks not having the sign is a hardship and does not fight the repeal, then what stops any other business from putting up a sign on the riverside as well, or anywhere, without adherence to the ordinance? What is to stop them when they put the sign up and then they're cited for a violation similar to this? And then they go to zoning with their mea culpas. And then if they're denied, filing an appeal, knowing that in the future, council will not defend zoning's position. We ask that council support the zoning hearing board's decision and fight the appeal. We must be consistent in our enforcement to assure maintenance of the fabric and uniqueness of New Hope. That's not set a precedent. Thank you, and I ask that you can take as much consideration over this sign as you did for bamboo. Thank you.